Well, hey guys, welcome back to our channel. It is one of our last days on our Alaskan cruise on the Carnival Luminosa. Hey, I said it right. Today we're in Ketchikan. It's a really short port. It's only from 7 a.m. to 12:30, and it's already 8:30, so we're a little late getting off. We're just gonna go explore the town a little bit. I'm gonna bring you my favorite secret trip for a cheap excursion in Ketchikan, and then later we're going to the Lumberjack show. I think off is over here, maybe? Here we go. Oh, nope, we gotta go around the other way. So stay tuned and see what we find to do in Ketchikan. We're just having a light day, but if you want my top secret for, I think, the best cheap excursion in Ketchikan, you'll have to stay tuned and watch. Well, it finally happened. A little bit of rain in Ketchikan this morning, but it's just a super light mist. Nothing that a rain jacket won't handle. So when you see in the weather forecast that it's raining in Alaska at this time, a lot of it sort of looks like this. So if you're coming in May, just be ready for some rain, but it's this light spitting rain. You just need a rain jacket, maybe not even a poncho, just a little bit of light mist. Of course, here in Ketchikan, there is a ton of souvenir shops and jewelry stores and even more jewelry stores. But my secret excursion pickup spot I'm trying to get to starts at Front Street at Berth 2. And where you're going to is the Totem Bright State Park. It takes about 35 to 40 minutes to get there from the dock. And how you get there is you take the public bus. So we're not gonna walk there because we don't have to, but if you see the tunnel right there, right before you go in, there is a public bus stop. It runs about every hour to half hour, and it takes 40 minutes to go to the Totem Pole State Park. The public bus only costs $2 in each direction, and if you're into history of people of the First Nations, or into Native Alaskan history, or culture, it is an amazing place. We're not doing it today because we are only an hour and a half or 2 hours late getting off the ship today, this morning, and we only have like a 4.5 hours, no, 5 hours in port altogether. So we're having a nice easy day. We're gonna go explore the town of Ketchikan, which is also just another great day. It's a pretty cute little town. Eventually, like, the old part of town meanders up a creek, which we're going. There's all sorts of statues over there and signboards telling you about the history of Ketchikan. And then we're gonna finish up our time in Ketchikan with the Great Alaskan Lumberjack Show, which is a really fun time, everybody says, and cost about $50. I think a little over $50, rather you book it on your ship or you just buy your ticket right when you go in. So stay with us, we're gonna explore and check out the town of Ketchikan. So if you're interested, all you have to do is on Google Maps, bring up Totem Bright State Historic Park, and then tell it you want to take the public transportation, and it will tell you what time and where. And this is the only problem. If you have a short time in port, as you can see, it is delayed right now by about 5 minutes. So you better give yourself a ton of time if you're doing your own excursion away from the cruise ship. But absolutely worth it. I think it is one of the best things. And you get this really cool drive up the coastline for about 10 miles. So as you can see here in Ketchikan, they have a lot of crossing guards. Do not jaywalk in Ketchikan. It is a busy city, lots of traffic, and one of their favorite ways to make tax revenues is to write tourist jaywalking tickets. So don't do it. That's why they have these crossing guards here. So there's another cool thing you can do if you're just in Ketchikan and have some time. The Southeast Alaska Discovery Center, part of the National Forestry Service. A lot of interesting information in there about Alaska and the Ketchikan area. If we have time, we'll go in a little bit later. And once again, along with most, if not all, the cruise ship towns, there's all these really helpful signs that'll direct you to where you want to go and what you want to check out. We're heading up here to Creek Street. That's like the oldest, and if you've seen pictures of Ketchikan, they're probably from here. And even if you don't make it out to Totem Pole State Park, there is a ton in town with signboards for each one of them, explaining the different segments and the meanings of them. Really cool. Sorry about the rain drops on the camera today, but just a little bit of light mist rain this morning. So just more signboards, all sorts of information about the history of the area, the totem poles, the first European settlers, the carving of totem poles. I mean, I think if there's one of these port cities that you do on a Southwest Alaskan cruise, Ketchikan is probably the one where you don't need an excursion and you can just go enjoy the town and the downtown area. It's such a cool little town. It almost seems like it was set up for cruise ships to come in, but of course it wasn't. Well, maybe nowadays it is. So we're making our way towards Creek Street. We're almost there. So a lot of the signboards actually connect into like a self-guided walking tour, the historic Ketchikan walking tour, and you can just follow them yourself. I think if you go online to the official Town of Ketchikan website, it'll tell you where all these signboards are, and you can follow them all the way around town. We've made it here to Creek Street. Later in the season, the salmon do run up this creek, and I've seen amazing pictures of salmon flying up this creek. So this is where we're going, that path where you see all the people. Unfortunately, not all of Creek Street is ADA accessible. There's a lot of stairs on these boardwalk areas. I love Creek Street, so cool. It's right out of a postcard. Shops on both sides. We're sort of, I think, in the middle of Creek Street, but I'm not altogether sure. As you can see, most of these buildings are just on pylons, sort of hanging out over the creek. It's a cool little signboard of all the different wildlife you can see right here in Creek Street. Of course, all 5 different salmon run up this creek right here. A bunch of different birds. See your great blue herring, bald eagles, belted kingfish. I mean, this really is, especially later in the season, a really great spot to come see the salmon run. It's a little early here in May. They don't really start coming up until June. So a couple more weeks for the salmon to start running. Cool.
Down here, that's quite a fish.
It is quite the salmon statue, huh? That's cool. So you can see, you can keep going along the creek. Well, we might go up a little bit, but I'm not too sure how far we're gonna go that way. We gotta get some shopping in here too. It's just beautiful. It's like ripped right out of 100 years ago. All the old buildings. We just went through the contemporary art gallery. Here's a little sale shop, all sorts of local artists making all sorts of interesting things. And a lot of these houses are historic. This is the Star House, circa 1902. Bootleg, booze, loose women, hot music. I guess this used to be quite the place to have a party back in the day. And there's a couple of these salmon shops around. They have canned salmon, smoked salmon, all different types of salmon, Chinook salmon, sockeye salmon, chum salmon, pink salmon, king salmon, canned, fresh, smoked, all of it. So if you want to bring home some Alaskan salmon, I would definitely use one of these shops. And of course, they do ship fresh, frozen salmon, king crab, everything. That's why I love just walking around and taking things in, reading all the signboards. Here they have the Alaskan flag song. So they have their own Alaskan flag song. The Bear, the Dipper, and the Shining High. The Great North Star with its steady light over land and sea, and beacon bright, Alaska's flag to Alaskan steer. The simple flag of the last frontier. It rhymes too. That's cute. All right, so we're here at Poker Creek Gold, Arctic Gold, and they have this interesting sign inside, and I happen to believe it is very true. We are not on your cruise ship's recommended shopping maps because we do not pay cruise lines a kickback. And I'll tell you what, I think that is very true. When you're on the cruise, all your shopping directors and shopping guides tell you only shop at our stores, and there's a reason for it. The other reason I love this store is they have prices labeled on all the merchandise. From specimen rocks all the way up to their high-priced jewelry, everything is labeled with a price, which is really nice. All the specimen golds and earrings all have a price, which I love. So here they also have some gold nuggets for sale, just straight raw gold nuggets, some smaller ones right over the $100 price tag. Up to $300 for some of the smaller ones, and of course the bigger the nugget, the more expensive, because gold is $300 an ounce right now. So this is what I got, some jade dice, so cute. Some of you know what I do for a living, some of you don't, but this is perfect. So as you can see, we really haven't walked very far at all from the cruise ship. Creek Street is just right here. The Lumberjack show is that reddish brown building right there. That's where we're going in about an hour. We're gonna keep walking around and exploring the town and spending money on souvenirs because it's fun. Mom's in here. What is that? Niblix. Of course, another locally owned shop. A lot of them in Alaska now are, which always shop local if you can. A lot more local artists, especially in the last couple of years I've noticed. Less imports, a lot more locally made items in these shops. And you gotta keep your eyes open and read these signs around town. They are funny. Dolly's house, where both men and salmon came upstream to spawn. Historic red light tour. So you can go to Dolly's house here and get a little red light tour. They are only $10, probably go every once in a while. The Captain's Lady. Shot looking up Creek Street here. I really do want to be here once when the salmon are actually running upstream. We always seem to come, well, either in May before they come or in September after they're gone.
She paid it off within 2 weeks, worked this house all by herself, and decorated exactly like this. Alcohol was illegal, and the guys only made $1 a day for a wage, and these girls were making that bathtub huge. They didn't know to take off the top head bar off the booze, so if anybody drank that stuff and died.
This is a photo of Dolly. This was her little brothel.
Yeah,
We just had a
20 years
great,
old.
and this is her at 20 with one of her little fur pets. What's amazing is this is a picture of her at 17, picture at 30 and 55. She ran this house of ill repute until the 70s? No,
1960.
1960. She was a hardworking girl all the way up until her 70s. That's a girl that didn't want to retire, I guess.
And it's all original.
So it's all original, most of it.
Yeah.
And you can go through here and
Yes.
upstairs and
Yeah.
explore more of Dolly's house. Thank you so much. A lot of this is original. Dolly never really changed anything from when she originally bought this house. She was, what did you see?
These
Yeah, we had
are
those.
Franciscan Desert Rose. I have an entire blooming set.
I thought, I remember this. You had this when I was a
have
kid.
had those since you were, well, since before you were.
Hand-painted Franciscan Desert Rose, yeah, from the 1930s. I remember that as a kid.
Well, I think they still make them.
Mom, what did you do when I was...
Nothing that interesting.
I think
that
my
would
mom
be a
got her
big-
set a different way, okay?
I think they were a wedding gift.
I remember those bowls though. Like the second you said it, it popped into my head. So hiding around here, there are some trap doors where they used to bring in the liquor because it was prohibition.
This is really cool.
It is really cool. So Dolly left her house in her will to be turned into a museum. Hidden bar. Whoop, there you go. It's a cool little pass-through hidden bar. And here's the trap door. They bring in the hooch up from the creek. Because we are sitting over the creek right here. for $10, this is a cool little thing to go explore in Ketchikan. Sorts of artifacts. This is really cool. Oh, there's an upstairs here too. See a couple different of the different layers of wallpaper. I love exploring these old buildings and houses and learning about the history. So a lot of this is just the way that she left it in the 60s. She never really updated it, so it's quite the same. So this is Dolly's room. So movies playing in all of these, telling you all about the history. Another photo of Dolly. It's a later photo, I think when she was in her 60s or 70s. See more false walls to hide alcohol behind. And cool artifact case. Our tour guide, when giving us the explanation of the house, told us to check out this little thing. See, and that was from like 1910. An electric vibrator. Woo! Look at that thing. Oh my God. Well, I don't know what all these pennants represent, but they're from Seattle, Vancouver, Tacoma, Juneau, Oregon.
Sports.
One just from the United States. I would guess sports teams of some sort.
Yeah. Did you see all the fishing rods down there?
I did see all the fishing rods.
Somebody's been catching salmon off the porch.
I believe somebody has been catching salmon off the porch. So this article, I believe, is explaining that Dolly left her house to be turned into a museum here. I love going through these places. You feel the history, what people went through, the choices they made in their lives, how they choose to live their lives, and how it really is relevant to today. So that's what they're talking about. There's a hanger here, and if you picked up the hanger that the dress was on, the whole thing would come out, and that would be your hidden bootleg stash. All right, and then out the back door, there used to be a trail back here called Married Man's Trail. So in case you wanted to come visit Dolly, but you didn't want anybody to see you coming in, you would come in through that back trailway. Oh, the sun's coming out, the rain stopped. Wonderful. So that's really cool to stop by Dolly's house while you're here in Ketchikan. It's only $10. And if you're into history or history of places, really cool, absolutely worth it. Yeah, it makes sense now. So you got Dolly's house there, the house of ill repute. Right next to it is the preacher's house, you know? So get dirty, get clean. That's how it works, people. Another interesting historical signboard about the house when it was built and what it was used for, of course. After the 1920 report, a national newspaper labeled Ketchikan the worst pest hole in America. It reported 33 brothels were operating here in 1927. So it says the person who owned this house managed to change the street number in order to avoid the stigma of being in the red light district. So this is sort of the beginning of Creek Street, I guess. Another wonderful signboard explaining the history of the area. And just to the side, a signboard marking the length of Creek Street and all the no, those are who historically owned them, I believe.
Yep, because Thelma Copeland, that was Belle. Or Dolly.
Oh yeah, that was her real name? Thelma? Was
Yeah.
Dolly's real name?
Yeah.
I love the history of Ketchikan.
And she had mentioned an Anne Moon.
Yeah, Anne Moon was another
Over here.
madam.
think they all are.
Yeah, maybe these are all the names of all the
relatives.
Uh-oh. June Carroll, uh-oh, I better look her up. History of Creek Street. For 50 years, a thriving community of independent women lived and worked in houses along this creek. A handful of them never left and lived out their days right here. The map below is from 1927 and shows the names of women who owned the properties at the time. So this is a list of all the women who owned their own houses and operated their own businesses the way they pleased.
1927.
That is true. And the law didn't agree with them. They just bought off the law, changed the law, and fixed it for their own ends. Well, not too bad. Only an hour of rain. The sun's coming out. The rain's gone away. And that's what I mean. If it says it's going to be a 50% chance of rain every day or 60, 70, don't worry about it. It's going to be a light sprinkle, maybe a little 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch of rain. And as the day goes on and heats up a bit, it tends to burn off and goes away. New York Cafe. I don't think we're gonna go too far this way. I don't know if there's anything really down this way. It's a thrift shop. So another one of these historic signboards. The Thomas Basin Rooms Bayside Hotel, 1927. Virtue amongst wickedness. Yes, that's right. This is the only hotel where wickedness didn't happen. This was only virtue here. You'd have to go across the street for the wickedness. And for those of you who are wondering, yes, cannabis is legal in Alaska. So you can either get crepes or cannabis, whatever you like. All right, we just finished checking out Creek Street right here in downtown Ketchikan. Really only takes maybe an hour to walk around. If you want to go shopping, allow yourself 2.5 to 3 hours. And that's all you really need. Of course, as much time as you need for shopping or learning the histories or picture taking. But we did book a little excursion. It's a show. It's called the Great Lumberjack Show, or the Great Western Lumberjack Show, something like that. It's about just over $50. Takes, I think, just about an hour. And I've never seen it before, so I'm really looking forward to it. I'll bring you some footage from that. It's right as you get to port right here. Things that we didn't make it to was the Ketchikan Museum. That is where the public restroom is. It is on one end of Creek Street, the part that's up the stairs where we didn't go. I believe if you stay to the main street though, you don't have to take the stairs and you can just walk the sidewalk up to the main museum here in Ketchikan. We're going across here to the, I think it's called the Great Alaskan Lumberjack Show, something of that nature. Oh, I lost my mom to these pretty flowers. There's a little public park here with some totem poles. And I have no idea what these plants are, but these bushes with the pink flowers are unbelievable. They're so pretty.
Did you see the sign that says tsunami and evacuation route?
Oh yeah, you better believe it. Get to high ground. We're going across here. The Ketchikan Fire Department also has a museum inside as well. Museum open t-shirts. You can get a Ketchikan Fire Department t-shirt if you like. That's cute, just a little museum, little showroom with an old fire truck in it. We're gonna take a little quick walk through. You can come and take your picture as a firefighter, stick your head in. Well, not too much of a museum, but you can come in and see the original fire truck here. And then this one looks like from the 30s maybe. So this is the building you're looking for the Great Alaskan Lumberjack Show. That's the official title. The Great Alaskan Lumberjack Show. You can buy tickets off the cruise ship. I believe you can also just walk up to the tickets office and buy one. They do several shows a day. We're going to the 11 o'clock. Inside of the ropes. I guess these are all the people already here lined up for it. Wow. Not sure what all these people are lined up for. Those people are in line for Alaskan Fish House Ketchikan. Whew. Some people that really need their fix of fish and crab. All right, so we're here at the the Great Alaskan Lumberjack Show. We're just waiting for it to begin. I don't know if all tickets came with it, but we bought our tickets off the cruise boat. It came with a little free bag of popcorn. Sort of nice. They got a little concession stand. And we're just gonna sit back and enjoy. I'm gonna watch them chop some logs, I guess. Well, I don't know how much of the show I'll be able to show you. They do have a sign saying no videotaping allowed in the arena. So probably during the show. Not sure why. I mean, you would think it's the type of thing they would want you to show off. So maybe just in case there is an accident, they don't want a bunch of people with some guy chopping off his arm or something, I don't know. So you'll just have to imagine what these guys do. So there's a couple of different events. I think it's an overhand chop. That's a crosscut saw. This one is where they race to the top and then come back down, seeing how fast they can climb. Of course, log rolling. I guess you'll just have to come for yourself and see what they do, see if it's any good. So we just finished up the Great Alaskan Lumberjack Show. It's a fun time, sort of interesting, fun for kids, fun for adults. Really interesting. Worth it if you don't have anything else to do. Not a necessary stop though. But we have to get back on the boat. 12:30 is all aboard and it is 12:15. I'd like to thank everybody for watching my video in Ketchikan and what to do. Like I said, my #1 tip is to take the public bus and go to the Totem Pole State Park. If you have time, super easy to do. Just bring up the directions on Google Maps and tell it to take public transportation. It's $2 each way. And if you don't do that, honestly, just walking around downtown Ketchikan is amazing. It's an amazing little downtown. You only need 2 or 3 hours for it. And if you have time, catch the Lumberjack Show. It's about an hour long and costs just about $50.